Well, hello and welcome to I Love Gay today. And we're in Los Angeles today with Drian Juarez. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Absolutely. And Driana is here with us from Trans Can Work, which of course in this year of all everything that we've gone through, just any organization that's focusing on helping folks when it comes to getting a job and just the whole employment environment is very much needed nowadays.
Absolutely. The statistics prior to COVID were that trans people were experiencing unemployment at twice the national average. For trans people of color, it can be as much as high as four times.
Yeah.
And so COVID just, made that so much worse.
Yeah.
And so, having somebody who can sort of facilitate a trans person's entry into the workplace is really helpful right now.
Yeah. Well, what is for those folks that don't know, what is Trans Can Work and what do you all do?
Uh, Great question. And so, Trans Can Work was founded by Mikaela Mendelson,
Yeah.
who is a trans woman herself. She's an owner in the Pollo Loco franchise. And when she transitioned within that franchise, she had a very accepting and smooth transition.
Yeah.
And that really inspired her to create more opportunities for other trans people. So she started to hire more trans people in her restaurants and very quickly noticed that about 40% of the workforce that were trans identified were moving into management positions.
Yeah.
And it was just about having a safe workplace where people can do their job without having their pronouns or their identity be a barrier to that. And so she started to think about how to increase those efforts and started to develop Trans Can Work. We became a formal 501c3 nonprofit in 2016
Okay.
with a mission of creating a national culture where trans and gender nonconforming people can thrive in the workplace.
Yeah.
And so we do that by creating a pipeline from companies who we've trained and consulted with and gotten their cultural competency to a place where they can set up TGNC employees for success. And then we connect them to our members, so our community members. Ultimately, the best way to diversify your workplace is to hire a
Yes.
diverse workforce.
Yeah.
And so, for us, that's always the goal.
Yeah, fantastic. I remember that story now that you I didn't connect the dots, but Michaela's story was big news when she came out, or at least her story came out. And being from LA myself, El Pollo Loco was always extremely near and dear to my heart. And so to hear that story was very uplifting.
Oh yeah, and having the public interact with trans people, it was transformative. It really helped people feel comfortable and really shed sort of whatever misconceptions they had. And so, there was a lot of good that was being done by having, trans people be front facing. And so, we want to carry that forward.
I love that. But you guys are working on there's a whole new project you've got with the city of West Hollywood now, though, yes?
Yes, and so earlier this year, we connected with the city of West Hollywood and partnered with them to put out an anti-transphobia campaign within the entire city. And this was really the first time an effort of this magnitude had been taken on by a city. And so what we did is for about a year conducted diversity and inclusion trainings with West Hollywood employers.
Yeah.
We trained about 100 different employers in West Hollywood. And that culminated in the development of an inclusive workplace toolkit
Okay.
with various resources to help companies and HR departments develop those good policies, make sure that their insurances are inclusive, make sure that they can facilitate someone's transition on the job or accommodate someone's authentic name and pronoun versus their legal name. And oftentimes we see that employers have a lot of questions about those processes. And so we go in there and not only provide them training, but also consult with them and do an audit on their system to make sure that they're set up for success.
Yeah.
And so, the city was incredibly supportive. We had a roundtable discussion with elected officials and business representatives and really talked about the importance of diversity and inclusion because it's the future.
Yeah.
By 2025, millennials will be the dominant workforce. They will represent 60% of the global workforce. And millennials are twice as likely to identify as LGBTQ.
Yeah.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Coming after millennials are Gen Zers, who are really going to blow these identity boxes out of the water. They're really transforming not only identity, but workplaces and all the places where we interact with each other. And so, we want to set up companies for success and companies who see the value, not just of hiring a diverse workforce, but that there is a growing market for their products within TGNC communities. Companies who want longevity are recognizing this and are starting to make those changes now.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love that. And what about like, of course, we're focusing a lot on the corporate or the just small business company side, but you guys also do a lot when it comes to the job seeker as well. Yes.
We do intensive case management with our job seekers. And so, we were founded by trans people for trans people. And so all of our case managers are trans identified. And so having community members interact with a community member really is the key here, because so many of us have experienced trauma trying to access services with organizations that don't have good cultural competency, don't know how to talk about our identities when they're referring us to jobs. And so having somebody who really understands that is transformative. We see that our clients, have not had success with other employment programs, but with us, they trust us. They trust in what we're advising them, and that makes it easier to help them develop a strong resume, preparing them for job interviews, and to give them that confidence to go in front of that employer and really present themselves in the best possible light. And so, our work is about economic empowerment, and that often is about the wraparound services that support a trans person. So accessing name and gender changes, getting access to clothing that matches your identity. Those are the kind of services that many of our clients weren't able to get elsewhere. And so we, really take a holistic approach to how we help community and the ways that we can economically empower them.
Yeah, I love this. Well, this is fantastic, and I again by reading some of the stories that are online that you guys about what you all are up to and everything, it's just it's very uplifting and amazing. So I'm really glad that you're able to take a few moments to share your organization's story with our audience, and no, very much,
Thank you.
very much. In fact, I do travel out there quite often to Los Angeles, so I'm looking forward to being able to come by and meet you all in person one of these days.
Yes, come by our offices. We would love to have you come over. We have a beautiful
Yeah.
courtyard, so we can do it safely and socially distant. And thank you so much for the platform that you have created and for allowing us to have a voice with you and to talk about our work. 2020 was a terrifying year for trans people. I think many of us experienced trauma through this, presidency. And 2021 is giving us hope that things are going to get better, and this new administration is really going to be an administration that protects us and helps us move forward and not, take basically turn back the hands of time and try to remove all of the gains that we had through Obama.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. Fingers crossed. So thanks again for
Yeah, not over yet, just yet.
but thanks again for being here. It's been wonderful, and hope you're set to have a great weekend in the meantime. All
Thank
right.
you so much once again
All
for
right.
having us. And for any of your listeners, if you're looking to get some training on cultural competency, please call us. If you're looking to diversify your workforce, give us a call. We have amazing candidates who are enthusiastic and ready to work for a good company.
Fantastic. All right. Well, thanks again.
Thank you so much.
It feels good, so good.